I want you to imagine having the kind of mentality that allows you to remain consistent despite doubts. Maybe those doubts are coming from yourself, and if you're trying to do something meaningful with your life, I guarantee they're coming from other people as well. But don't you think that harsh resistance met with the kind of person that's willing to outwork the doubt is the recipe for the kind of person you wish you were? The kind of person that is relentless in pursuit of having the life they want and can look back to tell the story of the path that most people would never take to get there. Really, it's undeniable. You know that's what it takes to get there, but when the reality of what it feels like kicks in, the pain convinces you to quit. And believe me, I know, because it's the path I'm on. You might think that 300,000 followers on Instagram or owning a house at 23 means I have it all figured out. But I'll promise you this, anybody that claims to have it all figured out is really good at one thing called lying. It's not about metrics, it's about impact. I see people that uplift others and create immeasurable success with that at the foundation. And there's nothing that can convince me that I can't have what I want. And what I want is something that I can't explain along the way and will only make sense once it's a reality. Now, in this video, I will share the 5 ways that you can build this relentless mentality that will allow you to fulfill the life you actually want, despite the inevitable resistance along the way. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is having strong purpose, because if you are trying to achieve a goal or get to a certain point in your life just for the sake of getting there, you will never be willing to put in the work that it actually takes to do so. People always talk about these things they want to do or these arbitrary checkpoints in their life that they deem so important, but they don't realize that the way there is what really creates the value. Reaching goals is only gratifying when the resistance on the way there proves difficult to overcome. Let's say you wanted to get fit and healthy and really take control over your physical and mental well-being. Well, you'd realize that the only value is found in the maintaining or the work that it takes to get to that point and all the effort you have to put in to do so, rather than just being at a place of stagnant health and fitness, which isn't even really a thing. If you have strong purpose on the way to a meaningful goal, your actions will eventually reflect that amplitude of perspective you have, and you'll slowly start to become more and more willing to see the value in the process itself instead of just latching on to the outcome. The most successful people in this world have purpose behind every single thing they do. And the way that you can decipher if that's the case in your life is seeing if you actually have an answer for the question why in regards to the decisions you make or the way you think. And if that's not the case, right, if you don't have the answers to that question, it doesn't mean you ignore it or you try and distract yourself from that. You spend time thinking through those things and coming up with an answer, or choosing to change your behavior as a result of not having that answer. The second thing we're going to talk about is building a solid routine. Having a strong routine, and I think it's important to have it at the beginning of your day, is the best way to set the tone for not only productivity in your day, but a better relationship with yourself. When you set goals and expectations for yourself on a daily basis and you follow through with them, what you're doing is building more and more self-respect, which will in turn give you more confidence in your own abilities. Because essentially you have an idea of who you are, or at least who you want to be, and when you have certain expectations for yourself and you don't follow through, you're continuing to prove to yourself that you aren't the person you want to be, and you can see how that could take a massive hit to your self-esteem, which obviously is not good. So building a routine at the start of each day that pertains to what you're trying to achieve as an individual is going to give you an opportunity to make and keep promises to yourself, which again reinforces that self-respect. Now, your routine doesn't have to be super intense and be modeled after your favorite Instagram influencer. Ideally, it should target the weaknesses that you see in yourself, and it's not going to be easy. This routine shouldn't be a comfortable thing, because really the goal here is to increase your capacity for effort and your willingness to go through the discomfort that it takes to achieve the things you want to achieve. For this routine to actually benefit you, there has to be consistency built into your approach to carrying it out, or else you're not going to see any sort of results come from it. Of course, your approach to this shouldn't be a results-based mindset, but the point of implementing this routine is obviously to see improvements in yourself. It's going to take time to build out this routine, and it's not always going to go how you want it to, but realize that the process is not a race, so there's no need to rush. Continue using every day as an opportunity to refine that routine, see what works, see what doesn't, and just the pursuit to improve in that regard alone will benefit your life immensely. Number 3 is maintaining peak physical and mental health. If you aren't a healthy individual, your state of being will already be a hindrance to your progress as a default. To be a healthy person, it takes work and it takes effort, and that is unavoidable. But the result is a version of you that is more capable, more clear-minded, and more able to see the value of discipline. Eating whole foods and exercising consistently are the staples of maintaining health and wellness, and what they provide is not only a physical manifestation of that, but an emphasis of the principle of doing difficult things in order to achieve a better outcome. Now, being healthy doesn't have to be complicated, although it does seem like everyone in the health and wellness industry seeks to confuse people and create a false problem, then create the solution to that problem and profit off of it, but it doesn't have to be that way. So don't go searching for the perfect supplement or the workout routine hack that's going to revolutionize your progress as an individual, because first of all, that doesn't exist. And second of all, if you don't have a foundation of healthy habits as a baseline, there's no need to go looking for these small refinements that are supposed to bring you to the next level. So if you're looking for shortcuts, recognize that they not only speed up the process, they undeniably cheapen the outcome. Number 4 is surrounding yourself with like-minded people and people you disagree with. Everyone always preaches to spend time with people that think exactly like you and act exactly like you and have the same ambition and drive. But when you spend time with people that aren't like that and don't think like you and don't live the same way, there's also an opportunity to learn something as long as you're confident in your approach as a baseline. When you have these conversations with people that don't have the same perspectives and lifestyle, one of two things, or both, might come out of that interaction. One of those being that they learn something from what you have to offer. They might latch on to your perspectives and ideas, and maybe you help them make an improvement in their life. The other option being that you learn something from them. Maybe they push back on one of your ideas and it actually hits home, right? You realize that what they're talking about has some value, and you implement that into your life and make improvements as well. Now, I suppose another option that could come out of that is you figure out that you really don't like somebody, but I guess that's always going to be the case. But if you look at it as an opportunity to try and understand somebody else, or as an opportunity to articulate why you think something, then like-minded people and non-like-minded people will be a pleasure to interact with within reason. Now, in terms of who you're giving a lot of your time and energy to, I would say that those people need to be the ones that have the same mindset and are encouraging you to be a better version of yourself. What you don't want to do is spend time around the people that will validate your poor choices or faults just to make themselves feel better about doing the same. So seek out the people that will not only try and bring out the best in you, but will push back on your faults and your weaknesses. And what you'll realize is that when somebody does give you that pushback and does try and bring out the best in you, that's a person that actually cares, not somebody that's transactional about your relationship with them. Something I will note is that finding the people that are going to be beneficial to your life is simply more difficult than finding the people that will not be. And the reason that is because to find something that is better is simply more difficult because there is less of it in the world. So don't let the fact that it's difficult derail you from continuing to search for quality people. Number 5 is recognizing that the people that are in the position you want to be in are no different from you other than the decisions they've made. Now, looking back on how I used to think growing up, I can definitely identify some flaws in my perspectives, but one stands out as something I'm incredibly grateful to have adopted early on, and it's the fact that I saw people with incredible lives and that have done incredible things, And what I knew is that those people were made of the same exact thing that I'm made of. And there's absolutely no reason I couldn't have a life like theirs as long as I wanted it bad enough and was willing to do what it takes to get there. For whatever reason, most people assume that characteristics of success and proficiency in other people are some sort of innate thing and that they can't achieve it because they don't feel like that's something they have. But that's very rarely true, and in most cases it seems like that's the opposite. Being at a certain place of achievement or ability usually comes from a harsh contrast when starting out. So there you have it, the 5 ways to build a relentless mentality that will carry you to the life you actually want without ever settling for less. The last thing I want to leave you with is that everything in this video requires a choice. And as long as you continue to choose your desired outcome and ignore what tries to cloud your view of it, what you want in life will be guaranteed. I really hope you got a lot of value out of this video, and if that's the case, consider subscribing as more content like this is on the way. Also, if you're looking for further guidance in transforming your mentality and lifestyle, you can apply for one-on-one mentorship where I will personally coach you through the process. You can apply at the link in the description, and I will see you guys in the next video.